Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Apecoin once more. I get a lot of requests on this one, so I figured I'd go ahead and cover it again and just help understand best practice, big picture. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love teaching people how to trade, and I hope you can learn something here today. That is my goal, and honestly, I freaking love this job. So thank you all to my community members for making it a reality for me to be able to help you become better traders. We had an awesome day yesterday, 131% from UNFI. Pretty amazing day. And interestingly, that coin spiked up about 50%. But that was a really, really good trade. But regardless of that fact, I do have a signal group, trading community, and basically just an awesome trading academy where you can learn to become a better trader. And I share signals for every single trade that I take. And once again, we had some pretty good profit taking yesterday. That being said, Ape was not one of those because I wasn't paying attention to it. It wasn't on my radar, but it might be now. It is definitely looking pretty good at a 9% up on the day. We got to understand too, though, a couple of key things that might be important to understand in just kind of the big picture and kind of where it's at. First of all, these 3 green trading days here, keep in mind that's a green weekend, 3 white soldiers from Bitcoin. I just put up a video on that if you want to kind of find out what I mean by that. But generally speaking, it's a candlestick pattern that can commonly indicate a reversal, but I think it's a little too premature to identify that. That being said, we see these three candles here over a weekend. I'm not super confident on that. I'd definitely be careful tomorrow, depending on how the trading day opens. If we see a lot of volatility from Bitcoin tomorrow, then I would expect or anticipate that Apecoin will probably do something similar. Now, taking a look at the big picture though here, let's go ahead and zoom out. Let's take the ICO day out of the equation and look, its all-time low was recently here, right at about $5.05. So 505 is essentially its lowest point in which it went. And then currently, of course, the price action is right around 687. So it's obviously up some from there. And that lowest point there on May 11th was a pretty bad day for Bitcoin too. So it makes sense as to where it's at here. You just got to keep in mind though that this tapering effect here from Apecoin is synonymous in a lot of ways with Bitcoin. Okay, so we take a look at Bitcoin, we can kind of see it's doing a very similar type of pattern. It just obviously wicked down. Actually, May 12th was the worst day for Bitcoin, whereas May 11th was terrible for Ape. But it did respawn and bounce back fairly nice. The reason why it's important to identify these things is just because of the fact that when you see a correlation between coins, you need to understand that Bitcoin's going to probably be the reason why Apecoin continues higher or it doesn't. Okay, we get some consistency from Bitcoin next couple of trading days. There's no doubt that Apecoin's probably going to continue to return fire and go up. Excuse me. So again, just something to kind of be mindful of. I like to throw that out there so you understand, because a lot of folks are oblivious to the fact that Bitcoin has that effect. Okay, so just something to be aware of. All right, so let's go and take a look at the standard stuff here. Excuse me, sorry for clearing my throat. So taking a look here at RSI. Not much to really note except for the fact that we obviously came close to 30, and that's the lowest point in which we've ever seen the RSI go. The key here, though, is to understand that we're stuck underneath 50 on the RSI, which is commonly a resistance level. So heaven forbid, or no, actually, opposite of that, heaven provide us with an increase in price, and the price continues higher, then we'll see 50 in the RSI potentially be a resistance level. Okay. Now, it's too far to tell, but in most cases, Fibonacci retracement levels are those same key levels. So we can see $9.90 as a potential resistance here for the RSI at 50 on the 1 day for Apecoin. Okay. Again, just some things to kind of think about there. Again, there's no guarantees. I'm basically speculating as to where that resistance level will be, but that speculation is based on Fibonacci retracement levels that are used day in and day out by industry leaders. Okay, so those who are actually controlling the price action for Apecoin are using that as a key level resistance. Just know that. All right, looking at the 4 hour, we can see that we are kind of stuck right around the 50 and the 20-day sub-moving average, pretty much getting rejected by the 50 so far. That's pretty standard for a lot of coins right now. Nothing super concerning except for the fact that we're back up over 50 on the RSI in the 4 hours. So that does help us with this transition, understanding that we're kind of on the right side of the tracks, at least on the midterm here, which is the 4 hour time frame. But it doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, because these are 3 green days, followed by Bitcoin's 3 green days over the weekend, a holiday weekend. There's no industry trading going on right now. It's mostly just the layman's like you and I, and of course some retail investors. So generally speaking, the price action being where it's at, it's exactly where it should be based on that circumstance. In other words, in order for Apecoin to continue higher, we need to see some stability from Bitcoin. If Bitcoin sells off tomorrow, which I'm expecting, based on it being the first trading day, Bitcoin being up 7% from Friday's close, I think we're going to probably see some red. That's just a speculation. Why would it be a green day based on the overall momentum in the market right now, still trying to fill its CME gap, is trying to come down to test its 200-day sub-moving average at about 22,000. I think we're going to see Apecoin regress as well, at least potentially. But, again, there's a handful of things you want to look at, but it's very synonymous behavior here with Bitcoin. Leads me to believe that we're going to probably see a very similar knee-jerk reaction if there is one. Okay. Again, no guarantees. Bitcoin could shoot to the freaking moon tomorrow. You never truly know. I mean, 3 white soldiers is supposed to be a bullish reversal pattern. But again, it's not necessarily a great thing in the current climate. It doesn't make any sense. We're extremely overextended on the RSI on the 4-hour. Here we're not, which is great. Does lead me to believe we could see a further continuation of the upside. Looking at the 1 hour, this again isn't really going to be super accurate because every coin is doing this right now based on that short squeeze from Bitcoin yesterday. But you can see the price action obviously above the cloud again. We haven't seen that in some time. We had a little bit of a dead cat here, and if we kind of continue on over, generally speaking, the price has had difficulty remaining above the cloud. And we're solidly above that right now. So that is a positive sign in the grand scheme of things. Something to kind of note, but is it like telling us exactly what we need to know? Not at all. It doesn't help us much in this situation here. And we can see that we're getting kind of a resistance level here with the previous low being the current high. So again, kind of getting rejected out right at that 715 range. So I'd be willing to speculate this is a nice strong resistance level, and it's something you want to probably pay attention to. We could even draw out some Fibonacci retracement levels, some smaller ones, and kind of see where that puts us. And what do you know? Right there, exactly at that same level, we're seeing that resistance. Okay. So again, that's a key level, Fibonacci retracement level at 715. So in general, we want to understand that that's probably going to be a place in which the price action will get rejected. Perhaps again, if it tries a second time. It could also, we could also see a cup and handle pattern. There's a potential for that, especially how the price is consolidating here at this next Fibonacci retracement, 683. There's a decent chance if the price were to come back up and retest, it might actually break. This is all pending Bitcoin does not pull some stupid, ridiculous crap tomorrow. And we see some consistency. If Bitcoin can consolidate sideways at 30 to 31,000, then we're going to see Apecoin probably continue to take off, fulfill this pattern, and progress to the upside. All right, so again, just something to be mindful of. I know it's kind of like a double negative when it's like, oh, it's going to go up and probably going to go down, but that's just generally the way that it always works. Watch my Bitcoin video if you need more clarity on what I'm referring to in that sense, as far as just what I anticipate Bitcoin's going to do. But again, if Bitcoin behaves and does well, then I think we're going to be seeing some pretty good stuff here from Apecoin. It's one of those coins that has a tendency of taking off and doing very well for itself. Okay. So again, all good stuff there, I would say, for the most part. Just try not to get too ahead of yourselves with yesterday being a nice green day on a Sunday night of all things. It's not super telling that it's going to continue to take off, at least for Bitcoin. Right? That's the one that I care about. All right, so hopefully this made sense to you and I got some clarity. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. If you do want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech. You can join over 200 active members presently at this time. We all have a great experience. We learn and grow together. It's awesome. Check it out. Once again, we'll look forward to seeing you again. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.